That great reset that we talked about in the series Technocracy. It's occurring in the news headlines all around us. Take a look at this montage with prophetic implications.
Bank customers are having their accounts shut down without much warning or explanation.
Banks have already started to freeze the accounts of people involved in the protests.
Banking services are being ripped away from controversial figures.
Nigel Farage, his bank, just out of nowhere, pulling his account. And this is what's really disturbing is he's now approached 7 banks since then, and none of them will open an account with him.
We received about 3 complaints just within a couple of weeks' time span. Banks closed their accounts or held their money for weeks with no explanation.
More than $66,000 was frozen by Citibank last December. Branch manager made her show everything from her social security card, passport, driver's license, even her birth certificate, but still wouldn't unfreeze her money.
Checked my bank account and saw that it was at zero. They had given me no notice. They just closed my account.
I went to log on to my online banking and it kept saying account locked. The young lady said, we decided to close your account.
They never would tell me why. They said that they chose to discontinue doing business with me. It was the only reason they had given me.
The Canadian government threatening to freeze protesters' personal bank accounts if they do not comply.
This is about following the money. If your truck is being used in these illegal blockades, your corporate accounts will be frozen.
The law is really not clear about what happens if a bank freezes or closes your account. When can they do that? How long can they hold on to your money? We don't have clear rules.
This is the cutting edge of the war between the global empire versus the people.
How do you deal with this massive bank, this massive power that you have no control over?
PayPal shuts account to parents group that campaigned to keep schools open during pandemic. Chase Bank has shut down our business bank accounts along with the accounts of my CEO and CFO, as well as their family members, including spouse and child.
All right, more on that prophetic issue in just a moment, but this being the ministry video newsletter that we're doing now, I'm sure many folks noticed that new logo and that t-shirt. Literally got the t-shirt. We want to do something special for those who are getting on board with the recurring donation plan this summer to make the ministry reset happen. Just a little gesture of our thanks. Send us your t-shirt size of yourself or somebody you want to give that to, and anybody who this week gets on board with that and helps to fund this ministry reset, we want to send you one of those t-shirts. Or option B, my wife said not everybody's going to want the t-shirt. How about the slow cooker cookbook, one of my wife's favorite cookbooks? Either of these is just a little thing we'll mail out. And if you're a previous donor and not getting on board just this week, please just email us and say you'd like the t-shirt or the cookbook. It's just a little thank you. You guys make this happen. You are Belt of Truth Ministries, and we're going to move forward. And those who pray and those who just do the widow's mite and anybody who puts our content before other people, sharing our videos, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And we needed a certain number of recurring donors. We did the math, and we're well into that. So a few more, and we're going to be able to wrap that right up. But what is this prophetic issue we're looking at in this video? In Revelation 13, it speaks of a time where buying and selling will be prohibited for a certain class of unpopular, politically incorrect people who are holding to Bible truth in the face of the deceptions and traditions of man and the edicts of the authoritarian systems of the last days. And you can imagine, with what we've seen already so far, they're edging into this now. This great reset, this COVID tyranny that just took place, and now also just politically incorrect people who have nothing to do with the COVID controversies of the public health issues. You know, we're protecting people, we're saving lives and so on. It's just we're going after people we don't like now. That's setting the precedent for what's to come. Is this a political statement? Not at all. It's a prophetic statement because you recognize when you see them start doing this now, that means we are that much closer to the end. So what's the message here? Alarm and fear? No. The Bible says that when you see signs of the end, which this is, then lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Jesus is coming soon. Don't let your hearts fail you for fear.